Did you know that the saying, "the fortune is in the follow-up," has probably caused more businesses to lose sales compared to what they've actually generated? See, there's all this data that says that it typically takes 4 to 5 no's in order to get a yes for an offer. The problem with that mindset is it actually has caused a lot of businesses to make the same repetitive messages over and over to the same people, hoping to turn a no into a yes. And the reality is it just turns people off. It causes them to be annoyed, and it just really hurts the relationship that they would have with that business. This is even more damaging as it relates to your email marketing campaign strategy. This results in a higher unsubscribe rate, a lot more spam complaints, and the email service providers will start seeing your delivery reputation as really just poor. And that means that the emails that you do send out in the future will just be ending up in the spam and junk folder as opposed to going to people's inboxes. Which is why in this video, you'll discover the 8 offer approach angles to make any email marketing campaign strategy a lot more profitable and more effective as it relates to the offers that you want to promote. I'll also reveal a little known secret to generate more excitement and engagement around any offers that you do send out. But first, before I dive into what the 8 offer approach angles are, it's important to understand why they work and why you'll want to use them. The big concept here is that people will respond differently to different types of approaches based on whether they are more logic-oriented or emotionally oriented. So if your messaging is always coming across on a very logical angle, then you're leaving out an entire segment of people. At the same time, if your business is sending out more emotional-oriented messaging, then you're leaving out the logic-oriented segment of your list. And that's who you are often not getting the response from that you were hoping for. So the fortune is in the follow-up, but that is based on you coming up with more ways to approach your market, both logically and emotionally. So the more ways that you can come up with to approach your market in a way that they find appealing and represents their style of being approached, the better you will have opportunities to make a sale or at least get a conversion for whatever you're offering. If this is making sense, hit that like button so I know that you find this style of content and training valuable, so I'll keep making more of it in the future. There's 8 offer approach angles that I have found to be proven to get results. The first one is the how to blank without blank. This is a very common one. You see it in a lot of copywriting training and tutorials, but essentially this boils down to your offer angle of how to achieve whatever desired result that they're looking to achieve without whatever they're hoping to avoid. So you might have an offer angle of how to lose 12 pounds before your wedding without starving yourself or counting calories. And that becomes the theme, the framework for your approach. Now that is a logic-based angle. The second offer approach angle is the truth about blank. This is great for building curiosity because it implies that the recipient, whoever's reading it or seeing it, is essentially not getting the full story, that they've been misled, that they've been missing out on something that could be really beneficial to them. So it might be the truth about reducing your golf handicap or the truth about booking your dream vacation. The third offer approach angle is the what to do if. In this case, it would be what to do if you want to lose weight, what to do if you want to get better at baking, what to do if you want to master event planning, right? In that email message, you might say, here's what to do if you're looking to achieve this result. By the way, here's something you might be interested in. And that's where the link to the offer comes in. Now you can kind of see how you've framed this approach completely different from the previous two. The fourth approach angle is what I call the conspiracy. This is where you start getting into the great blank hoax, the great blank lie, the great blank secret. This is especially effective if there's a common enemy or a bad guy that people tend to want to blame. So you might be saying something like, this is what your doctor doesn't want you to know, or this is what the gurus don't want you to know. You're implying that you've kind of discovered this underlying secret, this reason that other people are finding results or why they aren't getting results. And if they want to know how to overcome it, here's the offer that tells them all about it. Angle number 5 is where we start taking a bit more of an emotional approach. I call this one the open letter. The open letter is essentially where you just have a straight, no BS talk, where you just lay it out there and say, hey, if you've been frustrated or sick and tired, I get it. Here's what I've discovered. So it might be something like an open letter to the weight loss industry, an open letter to internet marketing gurus. And essentially, you just are calling people out on whatever garbage or nonsense or misleading behavior that seems to have been causing issues. Maybe you're calling them out on poor customer service or failed promises. Whatever it is, it's an open letter that allows you to kind of bond with your audience, right? An open letter to the rideshare companies, an open letter to the fitness industry. And you're just having a talk, but you're talking about pains and frustrations that your recipient can relate to. And then you're going to tie it into the offer at the end of it. But you might also be writing the letter to the audience themselves, right? You might be saying an open letter to parents who just can't get their kids to settle down, or an open letter to frustrated puppy owners who just don't feel they can take care of their puppy. You're basically just having an open, straight talk conversation saying, hey, I get it. Here's what we can do about it. Offer angle number 6 is a contrasting approach compared to the open letter. And in this one, I call it the battle cry. With this offer angle, gone is the open, hey, I get where you're coming from. Now it's anger. You are frustrated. So this is a declaration of war. This is an us versus them. And this is where you say, enough is enough. I am sick of this. And it's just got a different tone to it. But you can quickly see how a message that's just an open letter can quickly be vastly different from the battle cry. In this approach, the more emotionally charged, the better, because you are really tapping in to the anger and the frustration of the market you are trying to appeal to. You're not only saying, I'm super mad, but you're also saying, here's why this group is truly so bad for what they're doing, but here's what we can do about it. And you're just emotionally motivating them to want to take action. You are taking a vastly different approach from the how-tos and the what to do approach that's more logic. And now you are tapping into pure emotion, which would likely resonate differently, but it can be for the exact same offer. With angle number 7, now we are getting into what I call the mission. The mission is where you really tap into your emotional journey, your story of a situation where you were in that would likely relate to whatever your audience is going through, and the journey that you went through to get to where you now have found a solution that would help them get out of where you used to be. I used to be struggling with my health, and I tried so many different things, and nothing seemed to work until I discovered this thing. And all of a sudden, my life changed for the better. And now my mission is to help people who were just like me, people like possibly you, who might be going through what I went through and would benefit from this, right? So again, this is an emotional angle, but you are now tying in this mission. Here's why I'm reaching out to you. Here's why I'm putting this out into the universe, because my goal is to help people who are going through what I went through to get them to where I am now, which is healthier, more fit, more energetic, not dealing with XYZ health problems, etc. And the final approach angle, number 8, is what I call the breakthrough. This is more going back to the logic approach, but in this case, now it's straight to, I have found something that is an absolute game changer that's going to revolutionize the way we handle this frustration or achieve this desired result moving forward. So it could be something like, new breakthrough. Wow, I just found something that's going to make generating leads for my chiropractic business absolutely a game changer. Or I just found this new vitamin that is absolutely going to change the way we look at food or the way we have to deal with weight loss. Or I just discovered this breakthrough training for puppies that makes getting them to be more obedient, easier to settle down a lot faster, right? So now this breakthrough approach angle is completely different from the mission, and it's completely different than the battle cry, and it's completely different from the open letter. But now you've got a different way to approach letting your market know about the same offer. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, it's important to realize with the 8 offer approach angles that it isn't just limited to email, right? You can use it for your email follow-up, but you can also use it for a blog post and your social media. You can create a TikTok video or a YouTube video about any one of these approaches and resonate with different types of people in your audience who might want that style of content. Another thing to realize is that entire brands, influencers even, have built their businesses completely around just a single approach angle. In fact, if you pay close attention, you'll probably see it now that you are aware of these things, right? You will notice a business that seems to have been built completely on the open letter. Or maybe you know of an influencer or a brand that seems to be all about the battle cry and the anger and getting people jacked up and just motivated to take action. You might know of brands or influencers that focus on the how-to, the logic, or ones that are more focused on the breakthroughs and showcasing new stuff that's coming out all the time and how it can help the market. And if you really want to take it up a notch, a really advanced level, you can start blending them all together and really see where this is coming from. Another common saying is that the money is in the list. So if you want to see how I implement this strategy and combine it with simple automations to get even better results, click the video right here and you'll see how I use this strategy combined with a couple other steps to create a much more engaged email list with better responsiveness.